Stream?
Yep.
Patrish, you are live.
Welcome back, diveLIVE family. We do apologise for being off air the last few days. Unfortunately, we did have some tech issues, but the important thing is that we're back. So today, I am the Aussie Patrick, and I will be your underwater biologist. We have the Hungarian Emil on camera today, and up on the surface, we have the Scottish Lauren. So today, I am diving at the Devil's Grotto, which is on the western hand side of Grand Cayman Island, just to the right of our regular dive site Casuarina Point, right in front of our good mates at Don Foster's. So I am currently at 8.3 metres deep, so not very deep. I'm only about 100 metres or 320 feet offshore. So we're going to be heading out across and over the reef today to the sand patch. We'll have a look out there, see if we can see an eagle ray and maybe hopefully a turtle on the reef. And also I'm just going to be looking out for some regulars as well, such as our angelfish, our porcupine fish, and maybe even, what else? Maybe a Cubera snapper. We did see one the other day, and these guys are massive, so they have been around lately, and we'll be having a look. So, I was going to start by looking at this bommy, but we didn't really see much here, so let's head up and across and over the reef while Lauren says hello.
A very good morning, everyone. We are so happy to be back in the water with you, and as Pat mentioned, we do apologise for being off air the past few days, but we're back and I'm really excited about this dive ahead. So please do say hi, let us know you're there, and anything you would like to see, you can let us know and we will do our very best to try and find it. If you have any questions, please do ask us. Keep them relevant to what we're seeing on screen and we'll try our best to answer. So you can ask questions on Facebook, YouTube, and if you're using Twitter, please use that hashtag diveLIVE. So Pat, I'm after a loggerhead, an octopus, and possibly a nurse shark.
Alrighty, I like a challenge.
And Proud's cat mama is also after a turtle, hawksbill or green. So you got lots of challenges there.
Alright, well, hopefully I can meet at least one of those needs. So, I'm not actually sure how the reef has been, because we have been away lately and we've been diving some different spots not around here. So what we actually are going to see today, I really do not know. It looks like we have a French angelfish over here, one of our regulars here on diveLIVE. But it doesn't seem to like it. Oh, did you see that? It just ate some plankton.
Yeah, we did. It's nice to have a French angelfish joining us again.
Yeah, so they are omnivorous and they do enjoy a wide variety of food, as we just saw as it picked some of that plankton out of the water then. But they don't only feed on plankton, they will also feed on sessile. Sessile meaning attached organisms, especially sponges. Now sponges are not widely eaten here on the reef. They are made of mostly silicate materials and they do contain quite a lot of toxic deterrents. So this is actually an advantage to the angelfish because they don't really have to compete with many other organisms to eat these sponges.
We can see it having a munch right there. Breakfast time.
Yes. So this one must be hungry. They do grow quite big as well. If you look at their close relatives of butterfly fish, they usually only get to about 10-15 centimetres at an absolute maximum, which is about 4 to 6 inches. But these guys can get quite large, especially in some areas. Oh, Mr. Tarpin's come to say hello as well.
Oh, look at that face.
So yeah, some angelfish will grow up to 40 to 50 centimetres, about 20 inches long. So this tarpon must be winding down, coming back from hunting at night time. They are nocturnal animals, and so will feed and hunt during the night time, and tend to hang out in dark, secluded overhangs and caves during the day. So this one looks like it's on a bit of a mission to get home after a big night of eating out.
So Pat, Richard has a question about the angelfish.
Yeah.
How does the diet differ between different species of angelfish?
Oh, I don't believe that it does really differ between angelfish. I think they all tend to adopt a pretty general diet, a generalist omnivorous diet. So between specific species, I don't really think there is too much of a difference. I'm sure that there is, but I still think that they would adopt the same types of foods.
Yeah, they're all omnivores, so they do eat a huge variety of things in the ocean, but they predominantly eat sponges, and their little mouths are designed to munch away on the sponges.
Speaking of sponges, we have a huge colony right down here of orange sponges. I haven't seen this type of sponge before. It's growing in a really strange pattern. They're kind of all linked and connected. So sponges, we have already mentioned them quite a bit today. Sponges are very primitive animals, believe it or not. So what you're looking at right now is an animal organism. So they do differ from us and many other species in that they don't actually have true tissues or true organs. So you can think of them more of an aggregation of specialised cells that all work together to perform an overall task. And this task is pretty simple. They have so many pores lining their flesh there that draw in water. Now, what they're drawing in from this water is oxygen and food, and in some cases, if it's a female, the female will withhold their eggs, so they will take in sperm to fertilise their eggs. Now, what they're doing is filtering oxygen and food for themselves, and then they'll shoot it all out the top in these many bigger holes that we can see. So the pores I was saying that take in water are very small. We probably can't even see them on this sponge. But that big hole at the top is the one that shoots it all out once it has been filtered in the X current.
Well, Pat, I've actually had a look, and I do believe that this particular sponge is the brown encrusting octopus sponge, and it's part of the rope sponges grouping.
Very cool. Thanks for getting that, Lauren. Maybe if it's called the octopus sponge, there might be an octopus.
I hope so. Betty's asking, can sponges crossbreed?
Can they crossbreed, as in species?
Yes, I believe so.
I haven't heard of any hybrid sponges. Have you?
No, I've never heard of that. I don't believe so. But as we sometimes mention a lot of species in the ocean, mainly fish, are creating hybrids. And it's only recently sort of been really looked into in terms of science. But in terms of sponges, I don't believe so.
Alright, so let's make our way over here. I just had a queen triggerfish cruise on by, but it looks like it's on a mission, but that doesn't matter because we have a scrawled filefish just over here.
I love both the triggerfish and the filefish, so excited to see them. Oh, yeah, we got a visual on that right ahead of us. A beautiful scribbled or scrawled filefish.
And once we get a bit closer, you can see exactly why they are called scribbled or scrawled. Because it's like a toddler has got a crayon and just drawn all over it with blue highlighter.
Looks like it was having a feed there, Pat.
Yeah. When I was watching it, when we were talking about the sponges, it was picking stuff off all over this little bommy here, so everything seems to be pretty hungry this morning.
It just turned on its side there, and we were actually able to see how flat and disc-like this fish actually is.
Yeah, they are very skinny, and this is for manoeuvrability, so we can see the topography of this reef is quite complex. So by having this flattened body, they can really weave themselves into some hard-to-get places and get some food that many other fish may not be able to get.
Yeah, and the scribbled or scrawled filefish is the species that can actually grow the largest in the whole family, and they can go up to 1 meter, but I wouldn't imagine that individual is that size, but they can grow very big. Can you give us a size estimate?
About 50 centimetres, so 20 inches. I did dive in mangroves the other day, and I saw one of these, and it was much longer. I would say it was about 80, almost 90 centimetres. So there are bigger ones hanging around. That's about 3 feet.
And you can see their sort of snout area, and their mouth is very well designed for feeding. They do have really sharp incisors, and they can just crunch things off the reef.
Whoa! We have 2 chubs just cruising on past. It looks like one's chasing the other.
Is that the Bermuda chub?
I think so. One was really chasing after the other one. It was a
territorial dispute, possibly?
Yeah, I think so. One had its spots turned on as well, so I'm not sure what that means. Oh, we've got a big grouper right ahead of us, and a big snapper.
Yeah,
it's all happening, and a queen angelfish up here. Gee whiz, there's fish everywhere at the moment. Absolutely everywhere.
Is that the tiger grouper or yellowfin?
It looks like the tiger grouper, but I'll get a closer look in a second to see if I can see whether it's got that yellow edge to its fins.
I'm just having a little check as well. It looks like there's some damage to its tail fin as well.
So that would make sense. So groupers can get pretty aggressive towards one another, particularly the males. And as we can see, they have pretty nasty looking jaws there and some very sharp teeth. Oh yes, we can see it's missing a little bit off its back tail there. I think this is a yellowfin grouper. It looks like it does have a yellow edge to its pectoral fins there.
Yeah, we can see that well now, so I think you're right. It's a yellowfin grouper.
So we did mention the tiger grouper, and that is because we can see the stripes there on it. They do look very similar, but the key distinguishing feature is that the yellowfin grouper has some yellow on the edge of its fin there.
So we just had a question about the orange spots going past the screen. And that was from Betty. So that is just the plankton. So we refer to plankton a lot. It's a great food source for all the fish here. And because we use a red filter, they do appear slightly reddy orange, but they're actually not. So it's almost like marine snow, if you like.
Oh, so it looks like we have a bit of a clan of blue tangs coming over. The Blue Tang Clan, as one of our viewers did name them once. So these guys are herbivorous, and you can see right now exactly why they do travel in schools. It's because if one finds a good patch of algae, then they all find a good patch of algae, and they'll all swarm in and really just clean the place of algae. And this is actually a really essential function here on coral reefs, because algae does tend to settle on coral, and when it does that, it can start smothering the light that is needed by the algae that lives inside the coral that actually helps to feed the coral. So it also may block polyps from feeding, so it can really mess with the coral's ability to get energy for itself. So by coming across and scouring the reef of algae, then these blue tongues are helping the corals to not get smothered.
Well, we actually have a question about corals, Pat, from Timothy.
Yeah.
He is asking, how is coral attached to the sand? So maybe you can give us a little bit information on coral.
Yeah, well, it's not actually attached to the sand. So coral needs a hard substrate to attach to. So if it's loose sand, it can't really attach to it. So it will either attach to the skeleton of another coral, grow on itself, or attach to a rock, just like we can see here with these star corals. So it will do this by either secreting, burrowing, or binding. So it can secrete the skeleton that will stick to the rocks and the polyp can extend from that, or it will burrow into the rock and extend out of it, or it will bind itself to the rock.
Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Timothy. So coral does need a hard substrate to grow on, so it wouldn't be possible for it just to attach to the sand.
So we have a huge parrotfish, a massive rainbow parrotfish over here.
Yeah, we can see that.
So this is probably about just under a metre. I reckon about 90 centimetres or 3 feet long. Now, these guys make a huge sound when they are feeding. They have fused teeth together that make a beak, and when they crunch down on corals, you can really hear it. They don't actually eat the corals themselves. It's usually coral or rock that they will eat, that they will bite down on, sorry, but this is just to get the algae off. They don't actually get any nutrients from the corals or the rocks. They just are interested in the algae.
So Pat, tell us why these guys are called parrotfish.
Well, there are a few reasons why they're called parrotfish. Firstly, they are multicoloured, as we just saw, just like a parrot. Secondly, they use their pectoral fins to move through the water, so it kind of looks like wings of a bird like a parrot. And thirdly, that beak that I just mentioned looks just like the beak of a bird, so parrotfish is a very fitting name for them. And as I mentioned, with the fact that they eat algae and take a bit of rock or coral with them, they will actually excrete what they don't digest, which is usually just calcium carbonate, and that will come out as sand, which will be contributed back into the reef ecosystem, and some can produce up to 90 kilograms of sand per year. So this is a pretty large amount.
I was actually reading up on that. I always thought it was 90 kilograms per year, but apparently they think it's even more than that, which is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so parrotfish poop is really, really important to the beach ecosystem. So Pat, just a quick question on the blue tangs. I know we're past them, but Proud Cat Mama was asking, are they poisonous?
Poisonous? No, they are not. They do, however, have a spine towards the base of their tail that can be pretty sharp. And now, this spine, it doesn't sit fixed in the tail. It will actually slide from side to side as the tail is moved from side to side. So what this means is that if it is to strike something, it won't strike it straight on. It'll strike at a 90-degree angle, so it has more of a chance of really going in deeper and holding sometimes.
Yeah, then we can see the blue tangs again. So nope, their flesh is not poisonous. Oh, hello. Is this some schoolmasters?
Yes, we do. We have a pair of schoolmasters right here. And can you see their lateral line?
Yes, we can, running from the eye all the way to the tail.
So the lateral line is a very special organ, sensory, for these schoolmasters, because it's little paws with a little hair in them that can really detect changes in the water. So when they are schooling together, which is what they are known for, they can sense where each other is in the school.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a scar running down its body, but it is just a line on both sides of the body that runs from the head to the tail.
So they're actually so good at this sense that scientists once thought that they could communicate telepathically rather than by sensing, but after some experiments we now know that it's thanks to this lateral line.
Well, Richard is asking, do all fish have a lateral line, Pat?
Most do, yes. Yes, I can't think of any species that won't have it.
Yes, even sharks have the lateral line. So you have to imagine being a fish, you're in a completely different environment to what we are on up here in land. Sound travels different, light travels different. So over time, fish have developed extra sensory organs to help them navigate their way through the oceans.
So, we have shown you guys porgies, but we haven't really identified a specific species. And now something Lauren and I are trying to do at the moment is identify a new species every single dive. So, we have a porgy right here that I'll get Emil to get closer to. And Lauren, if you can get the ID book out, and we'll see if we can identify the species.
Sure, I'm on it. We haven't spoke about porgies very much during the live dives, but they're really easy to identify from that funny shaped head. Is there any colours on it? Oh, we can see the lateral line really well on this fish.
Yeah, I can even see it from all the way back here. So, it does have a very slight kind of pearly yellow tint. But apart from that, it's a pretty monotonous kind of white.
So I believe this is the saucer eye porgy. It could also be the knobbed porgy. Does it have a yellowish tint on its body or just near its eye?
Just near its eye.
I believe.
And above its lid.
Yes, this is the saucer eye porgy. We're getting a great look at it.
So they are snappers, or they're very closely related to snappers. Except the way that we can generally tell it's a porgy is just their very white, kind of iridescent flesh there. And as we just saw, they do tend to feed through the sand. And sometimes you'll see these guys just sitting there, almost like they're in a hypnotic trance, because they tend to eat burrowing organisms, like garden eels or shrimps or crabs. And so one method they use is to just wait, just sit there and wait until whatever's under the water, under the burrow, thinks it's in the clear, and then that's when they will strike and get their feed.
Pat, can we have an air check?
Yeah, sure. So I am on 130 bar.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
So we can definitely add that saucer eye porgy onto the species list, which is growing more and more every day.
Yes, I believe, I can't remember exactly, but one of our diveLIVE family said the other day that they were on 97 on their running species list. And this was well over a week ago, so we could almost be at triple figures.
Yeah, we're almost at 100, and that is just for fish. We're still working on our invertebrates and other organisms, but for fish, we are at a very high number. Both Pat and I are getting a little bit better at identifying them, and of course the zoom makes it a lot easier for us.
Yeah.
Some fish can be really similar.
So just behind this porgy, we have a goatfish feeding in the sand here. Oh, and just as I mentioned it, it decided to swim away. But it was doing a perfect example of what I wanted to talk about. It has two little barbells that hang out from underneath the chin, which is where it gets the name goatfish, because it's like a beard of a goat. And what it does is these are also, just like the lateral line, special sensory appendages that it can use to help sift through the sand and find prey items. And now, some fish, such as the barjack, are clued onto this and will actually follow this around because they know that these guys can sense food better than they can. So if they follow it around and be patient enough, they can come in at the right time and actually steal the food.
So John was mentioning that he thought it was called the goat head porgy. As far as I know, it's the saucer eye, but there is different names in different regions, so that could also be possible. And Proud Cat Mama was asking, is a porgy a good fish to eat? So I'm definitely not the right person to ask that question to, so Pat?
I could assume that they would have good table qualities, being part of the snapper family. Most snappers sought after both recreationally and commercially. So I don't know personally, I've never eaten it, but I could assume that people would enjoy it.
And Karen asked if we see the look down fish, and that is such an interesting question because both Pat and I are desperate to encounter a look down.
Yeah.
Apparently they are in the Caribbean region, but we haven't encountered one on any of our dives that we've been doing around this area.
Yeah, we would love to see one though. We have seen a pompano, which is a close relative of the look down, but the look down itself we haven't seen it yet. And the reason they're called look down is because their face is slanted downwards and it always looks like they're looking down. They have very funny faces.
Yes, I do have a species list of things I'm desperate to see, so hopefully we can start seeing them soon. So Love Dogs is saying that this porgy, Pat, actually made number 100 exactly on her list.
Ah, awesome. Well, there we go. A century.
We will compare lists soon.
Yeah, definitely. Good on you, Love Dogs, for keeping track of all these fish.
Yeah, we actually tried to show porgies on another dive previously, but it just wasn't willing to stay still for us, but this one did, and we got a great view of it. So we do have a question about the lateral line, Pat.
Yep.
Do we know about the evolution of this lateral line?
I don't actually know about the evolution of it. I know it must have evolved quite some time ago, but yeah, I'm not actually sure about the specifics of it, sorry.
But that question was from Richard, and I did read up on this, and as far as we know, it's always been present in fish, and it's actually present in some amphibians as well, so it kind of got lost.
Turtle.
Oh!
Sorry to cut you off there.
Not a problem at all.
Oh, it looks like it's got some angelfish cleaning it as well.
We can't see it yet. Oh, yes, we can. It looks like a hawksbill.
Yes, it definitely is a hawksbill. Now, as to which one it is. Have you got that database up there, Lauren?
I'm on it. Let's see if we can get people to guess who it is first.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to our diveLIVE family. See if they can tell us who they think it is.
So we just need to get a little bit closer to the side of the face. So we can identify each individual turtle just by using the pattern of the scales on the side of a turtle's face. But each side, both the left and the right, are different. Do you know who it is, Pat?
I think it might be Mowgli, but I'm not 100% sure. Have we got any guesses as to who it is?
I think it was a little bit too soon, but I'm just having a look here. I want to get it right. Is there a bite at the end of the shell by any chance? Yes, there is. I've just gotten around to the right-hand side to check, and there is a bit of a chunk missing. So that is a big clue for anyone who's been following along on our little turtle identification project. Yes, this is indeed shark bait. And we know that from the pattern of the scales, but also she does have a bite at the back of her tail, and she's a regular on our dives.
Yeah, she's been coming to visit quite a bit. And I don't know if you can see it, but this area is absolutely teeming with life. There is groupers, snappers, angelfish, Creole wrasse, and of course, shark bait.
And shark bait seems to be very relaxed, just cruising on top of the reef here, obviously looking for a spongy breakfast.
Yeah, so when we did spot her, she was feasting away there on a sponge.
So Pat, do you want to share how we know that shark bait is a female?
Yeah, so when we are trying to identify the sex, we look at the middle of those two back flippers there. If there is not a tail, a big tail, females do have tails, but they're quite small. But the males will have a big protruding, quite noticeable tail. But obviously here, we don't see one, so we know it's a female. Now in the smaller individuals, correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren, it's under 60 centimetres, is not sexually mature anymore?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
60 centimetres for the carapace.
Yeah, so if it's under 60 centimetres, then we can't actually tell whether it's a male or a female because they haven't reached sexual maturity. But unfortunately, it looks like is the cable out of the milk, or can you see whether we... Oh, it's alright. It's over here. Is that still shark bait? Hey, Emil, over this way. So it looks like shark bait has found...
Oh, so there's two turtles, and you
it's-
just had another one.
Oh, there's another one. Yes.
Oh, wow. Two
Awesome.
Hawksbill turtles.
So
Let's see if we can get close to this one.
Yeah. So this looks like two French angelfish are also joining in on this feeding of the sponge here.
Okay, so that was shark bait. So now we have another one. Oh, wow.
Oh wow, and they're coming together as well.
Oh, I know who this one is. Okay, Pat, let's see if we can get some guesses on exactly which turtle this one is. Oh, wow.
I think I know who this one is too.
Oh, this is the first time we've ever seen two turtles sort of in the same area on diveLIVE.
Yeah, this is unreal.
You have no idea how excited I am on the surface right now.
Oh, this is great. I wish you could be down here with me for this, Lauren. This is unreal.
I wish I could be too. And you'll notice that they're completely ignoring each other. Turtles are solitary animals. They do not interact. They might have a little fight here. Yep, there we go.
Wow. I've never before seen that.
Yeah, they do not like each other. They're both females. And they are not happy. They're obviously maybe after the same sponge, and they will bite each other for sure. And I think the angelfish are after the same sponge.
Yeah, so there must be something exciting about this sponge, because we can see it's got quite a bit of white scarring on it, which is from feeding activities.
So Love Dog's got it right, it was Gretchen. So at the moment we have Sharkbait and Gretchen having a fight with one another. And Richard is laughing because I said turtles ignore each other. But yes, they do, or they fight. They do not interact in any sort of other way. The main interactions you will see between turtles is during mating. Otherwise, they really are not happy to bump into one another on the reefs.
Yes, they are lone wolves, so to speak.
So Anne was asking, is this mating? So both these turtles are females. So no, this is not mating. This is just either sort of territorial or, hey, get out my way, or I want that sponge behavior.
Yeah, definitely. And if we were to see mating in turtles, it would be happening up at the surface.
I saw that comment, John. It made me laugh. Thank you for that. Timothy's asking, are turtles territorial, Pat?
Well, not really. They're territorial in the sense that they do tend to stick to the same feeding grounds, but they're not really territorial in that they will aggressively defend any sort of territory. As we saw just before, they will have little disputes over food, but that is about it.
So Proud Cat Mama is asking, how long can turtles hold their breath for, Pat?
Well, it can be hours. So for a younger hawksbill, it'll be about a 20-minute on average dive. But I believe just with hawksbills alone, it can be up to 6 hours, can't it?
It ranges between 4 and 7. So yeah. the bigger the hawksbill, the longer it will be able to stay underwater.
Yes, and leatherbacks are the masters. So leatherbacks are another species of turtle, and they can get massive, and I mean absolutely huge. And they have been known to dive down to 600 meters, which is incredible. That is about 2,000 feet almost.
So Dos Santos is asking, how old and how big can they get? So let's focus on the hawksbill, because that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, so about the maximum lifespan of a hawksbill is about 50 years, give or take. And they can grow, I think, just about over a metre. Metre 20, is that their maximum size, Lauren? Absolute maximum. I mean, they usually do not get anywhere near that big, as we can see right now.
Hawksbill's maximum's normally a metre, but they sort of average around 80 to 90 centimetres, so 3 foot or under.
Yes, and sharkbait right here is quite a large female. I would say the carapace length, the carapace being the shell, is about 80 centimetres, so just a little bit under 3 feet.
So Rita's commenting that it looks like the shell is cracked, Pat.
Yes, and that is actually, it depends what you're referring to by cracked. If you mean the actual carapace where all of the scales line up, then that is because that is just how you identify it. Well, one of the identification features of a hawksbill is that the scales actually overlap rather than sit nicely together. But if you're referring to the back of her carapace, then that is because she has been attacked by something. We're not exactly sure what, but we believe it is a shark, hence the name sharkbait. So yeah, something has definitely hit and damaged that tail there.
You can actually see the tail peeking out from underneath. So this is a key identification feature of a female. The tail is short and stumpy and will not extend much past the shell. But I do believe Rita was commenting on just the scales in general. So turtle shells are made up from scales or scutes, which are primarily made from keratin. So this is the pattern that all turtles will have, but as Pat mentioned, the hawksbills just tend to overlap. She does have algae growth. She's actually always had this growing in between the scales, so she does need a good clean. And of course there is that bite from what we believe is a shark. Timothy's asking, do turtles have predators, Pat?
Yes, they definitely do. Especially, well, just as we said, shark bait. They may have been attacked by a shark, and that is because they are fed on by sharks. But in their juvenile phase, or even after hatching, they have many predators, land and sea alike. So you can imagine a baby turtle, they are hatching on land. So the turtles, the female turtles, just like shark bait, will go to a beach to lay their eggs, and then after hatching they have to make their way down the beach to the sand, past the surf zone and into the open ocean. So during this phase there is a lot of different predators that will take advantage of this. Jaguars, birds, sharks, large fish, like large predatory fish. So yes, even some large crabs, I believe, have even had a chance to eat baby turtles. But as they get larger, their predators get fewer and fewer because they do have this big hard shell.
So we got lots of turtle questions. Hi to Danny on Paddy from the UK. And also, just a reminder to everyone, we're diving at Casuarina Point, which is on the western side of Grand Cayman Island, just outside of Don Foster's. So Pat, Bernard's asking, do they use their back flippers as a rudder?
Yes, that is exactly what they use it for. So we can see right now that sharkbait is using her front fins up and down, and that is to generate lift. They don't have a swim bladder, which is an organ that a lot of fish have to control their buoyancy. So they have to generate some kind of lift, and that comes from these front flippers that they're using, just like wings. Now their back ones, if you'll notice, don't really move at all. They just kind of shift a little bit tilt, and that is to control their direction, just like, as you said in the question, like a rudder.
And Gary's asking, is a man the male turtle tail used for protecting his reproductive organs?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
Is the purpose of a tail in the males for protecting his bits, which I guess would mean the reproductive organs?
Isn't the tail its penis?
I can answer that. Yeah. So the tail actually contains the reproductive organs. So it uses the tail to insert into the female. She has a urogenital opening just below her tail and deposit the sperm. So it is a tail, but it does harbour the reproductive organs. So can we have an air check, Pat?
Yes. So I'm on 70 bar. So we still have a little bit of time to spend with shark bait.
So Richard is asking, how many hatchlings make it to adulthood?
So they have to go through quite a bit of a trial. So as I mentioned, they do have to make it down the beach.
I think he's asking for the survival rate.
Oh, the survival rate, sorry. I do know this. I think it's 1 in every 1,000 turtles will make it from hatchling to adulthood.
Yeah, the official survival rate is 1 or 2 out of 1,000. One of the lowest in the animal kingdom.
Yes. And that is because of all of the many factors that I just mentioned when they have to make it from the beach to the water and beyond. And even before they are born, the eggs, quite often, the females will not be in competition, but they will lay their nests close together, and this puts pressure on the eggs to, firstly, for microbial load, so bacteria can build up quite quickly if there is a lot of organic matter together, and also it increases the biological activity and therefore the heat of the nest, and it can overheat and cook the eggs essentially.
And Andrea's asking, can you tell how old shark bait is?
We can make guesses. We can make...
Sorry to interrupt you, Pat. Just to let you know, the camera's flickering off here.
Yeah, Emil was just saying that he can't really hear as well. He can hear now? Yeah. So we were... Yeah. Is that better? Is everything okay now?
We are just waiting. Yes, you're back. So sorry for interrupting you there, Pat.
No, that's fine. What was I talking about?
Yes, let me remind you. Andrea on Twitter was asking, how can we tell how old shark bait is?
Yeah, so there's no real proper, definite way to age it. It's more by size. So because shark bait is pretty much fully grown, we can assume that she'd be in the later years of her life, so maybe 25 years plus, maybe a bit even older.
Yeah, so she's definitely a sexually mature adult. We can tell that by her size, like Pat mentioned. So yeah, I would probably estimate around 20 years old. And Bernard's asking, what do turtles eat? So what do hawksbills eat, Pat?
Well, their primary food is sponges. So we did see just before, Sharkbait and Gretchen were fighting over that sponge, and that is because it is their favourite food. So it's quite weird that they love sponges so much, because they are full of silicon, and they also have a lot of chemical deterrents that they use. So they're not really a favoured food source, but hawksbills do love them, and unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, because it doesn't seem to affect them, but the silicon will build up in their stomach, and the toxins will also build up in their skin. So that's why you should never eat hawksbills turtles, because they are full of these sponge toxins.
Yeah, it builds up in their flesh. So hawksbill turtles are very toxic for us to eat. So John mentioned that shark bait is one of those 1,000, and that's correct. Every turtle that we encounter on our dive is nothing short of a miracle, I guess. They've came a long way through all the threats and predators that Pat mentioned to survive to the age it is today.
Yes, and it's even more special in this day and age because of, unfortunately, the human pressures put onto turtles by global warming and fishing nets and plastic pollution. So we have really affected the population numbers even more, which is why every turtle sighting is so special.
So Proud Cat Mama was asking, does shark bait have 2 claws on the ends of the flippers?
Yes, you can see on each side of the flipper there is a little spine sitting on the end of it.
Yes, and that's another key identification feature sometimes between species, but mainly between male and female. The males will have much bigger claws, especially on the back flippers, in order to sort of hook on and grab the female during mating. Mating between turtles is a very aggressive act. It's not pleasant, and the male will bite and hold on to her with these sharp claws.
And on that, I have hit 50 bar, so it is time for me to head up and do my safety stop and end the dive and say goodbye. So thank you everyone for joining us. We are so glad to be back diving with you, and what an epic dive that was. I loved that little dispute between Gretchen and Sharkbait,
just having the 2 turtles in the one spot was amazing. So thank you all for your continued support and for joining me on this dive. We will have Lauren down with you at 11 a.m. Grand Cayman time. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Lauren. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Pat. That was an awesome dive. And we did have a request for a mermaid, so stay tuned. We will be with a mermaid on Saturday.
Yes.
So stay tuned. I will be back at 11 a.m. Grand Cayman time.